Aloha, and welcome to another Cabrinha Tech Tip. I'm Phil, and today we're going to be walking you through the basics of how to get these new 2011 sinks mounted onto your board. So if you're ready, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have all the necessary parts. When you pull these guys out of the bag, you should have obviously a right and a left pad, a couple of the straps, and the mounting hardware. These are M6 screws, which go into Cabrinha boards perfectly. If you're using either way older stuff or a different brand, double check to make sure that it takes M6. The other common one is quarter 20, but usually that's more common in American stuff. And of course, you'll need a nice number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. So what you want to go ahead and do is identify the right and the left pads and straps. Pads is pretty easy. There's a right and a left, easily identifiable by the arch support that's built in, and the outside of the foot is marked by this embossed C logo right on the pad. Okay? The straps, similar. There is a right and a left actually. So when it's mounted, the lacing actually goes over the inside of your foot, over the instep, and you know it's correct because this logo, the Cabrinha logo, should be facing out towards the tip of the board. So let's identify right from left on the board. It is possible to mount stuff backwards on here, but you won't get nearly the adjustment options in terms of angles. So let's identify right from left on the board so you can correctly mount the pads and straps on in the correct direction. All Cabrinha boards have this offset hole pattern on the inserts that straddle the center line of the board. So there's the inside of the foot, the insert row is actually higher than the center line, and the outside row is actually lower just on the other side. So this is the outside of the foot, the lower section. If you have it backwards and the higher set of inserts or the outer inserts are sitting higher, then it's backwards. So this I know is the right foot. So we're going to go ahead and start with the right pad and strap and get this guy mounted up. Okay, so we've identified the right side of the board. This is the right foot, there's the right pad, and there's the right strap. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is find out or figure out where your preferred stance is. And I would say probably for the overwhelming majority of people, it's this middle set of holes. It gives you enough control over the board and is a comfortable width for most people, but we give you other options to go wider or narrower, but we're going to do just right in the middle. Okay, and what I want to do is line this up so that it's at the maximum angle, the maximum amount of duck angle you can get. This is the easiest way to get them mounted, and this also happens to be probably one of the better stance options as far as comfort in your knees. Generally, the wider you go, you want more angle anyways. So before mounting, these laces are not fully tied, it's just for shipping. So untie them, kind of wiggle the strap around a little bit. Everything bends and mounts together a little bit easier if the strap is untied. Okay? You don't have to take the laces out, just untie them. And what I like to do is start with the inner one first, okay? The outer one's easier to work on when it's at a fixed point. So let's start with the inner one, drop the screw in, and again, we're gonna go to that lowest section, okay? Make sure the block sits in there correctly, and if you want, the smart thing to do is leave the screw out, get the block in there, and make sure the hole is lined up. So there, as you can see, we're lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and pop a screw in there and just give it a couple of turns just to secure it in place. We don't want to make it tight just yet. Okay, so we start the screw, give it a few turns, but I still want to leave it loose enough so that this freely moves with very minimal effort. Okay, this will make it easier to adjust and mount the other side. If you tighten this side down first, you'll have very little room to kind of fine tune and adjust where the other, lining up the other hole. So for the outside, I can see that we're lined up in the right spot. The other side is still loose, and I've kind of shimmied this over to the center of the board as far as it'll go. Go ahead and place the block in there, and the trick here is to make sure that the block is actually sitting completely flush and all the way in. I see too often that people will get one side in, and the other side is actually crunching the foam here, so it's not letting it sit down all the way, so it's flush. So the trick here is just make sure that the block is completely in and sitting flush where it was designed to sit, okay? You'll have much easier access to the insert and being able to start that screw, okay? So just put a little bit of pressure once you line it up and hold it in place with one hand. Take your screwdriver when you know that it's straight. Give it a couple turns. If it feels like it's not going in straight, you can go ahead and fix that. Make sure it does so you don't cross-thread it, okay? Don't tighten this side all the way. You want to go half or 3/4 of the way, and then we'll do the finish tightening the other side, and then finish off this side. Okay, so now that we've tightened everything down, the final step is to go ahead and adjust it, okay? So what you can do is, with the laces untied, you can wedge your foot in there, okay? Leave everything nice and loose. If it feels like it's too tight since they're new, you can always loosen the laces, just like a shoe. Just like that, okay? Go ahead and slide your foot in and figure out where you like it. Now granted, this isn't a hiking boot. You don't have to wrench on these, and you don't want to, okay? You just want to figure out where you like it. Find the proper level of adjustment, tie it off, just like a shoe. Okay, so a little side tip is I happen to like to run my straps fairly snug. So what I like to do is once I've adjusted it with my foot in there, I'll pull my foot out, leaving that same adjustment, and actually just cinch down just a hair more. And with your foot out of the strap, it makes it easier for it to tighten down just a little bit more. Okay, and if you cinch down tight enough, there's no need to do the double knot. Okay, one single one is good enough. Okay, and now I have just a hair more hold down, so you pop out of them that much less, and they offer a nice good support this way. Okay, once you find that proper level of adjustment where it's comfortable and still supportive, you can take the extra laces and just tuck them out of the way. Just like that. That way they're not distracting, they don't get caught in anything, and you're ready to go. Just go ahead and repeat that for the other side, and we're done.
If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact us through our website. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the water.